things at the moment long term in the NFT space at all. Not interested.
Yeah.
So that's probably why I'm also not thinking of it that way. Another thing to do with Doodles, actually, they acquired Golden Wolf.
Mm,
Did you see that?
I did.
So
This is
Golden Wolf's a
cool.
full animation studio. So now they've got the animation down, and I thought the animation was always pretty good. And now they've definitely got the music down with the Billboard CEO Pharrell Williams. So now they've got this studio, right? And this studio has worked on like Rick and Morty and like a lot of the really really good
Yeah. No,
stuff out there.
this is huge. This is really cool for me to see this.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Dude, for honestly, if you scroll up just so we can see the animation, for people who are watching, there's gonna be a time where we go back. You're not gonna remember this because everyone forgets within 24 hours. But when the eventually, NFTs trend all the way back down at some point and it's dead and boring again, that's when people will be looking to get into projects that are fun, that are doing stuff to the point where you're like, man, they are crushing it. I want to be a part of that again. Like for a long time, I didn't care to be in Doodles, but the amount of work they put in, the partnerships they've had, the stuff they're coming out with, the animations I've seen, it makes me feel a little bit of FOMO because like, look, there's like 15 projects that are worth buying at any given point. And of those 15, probably 5 of them have done something in the recent 6 months that make you think of them. And when when whales especially are choosing to pick into projects, they're not looking at every single one. They're looking at Pudgy, they're looking at Doodles, looking at Bored Apes. There's only a few handful of projects that are like doing anything remotely interesting to where you're like, man, I'm trying to be part of that club. They're on a road that I'm not on, or they're on a train that I'm not on yet. I need to get on. And like that's where these kind of partnerships matter. Even though this isn't bringing money straight into these holders' wallets, they're like, God damn, they just signed with this. Look what they put out. Like, look at this commercial. Digital Ikaku is doing a Super Bowl
Yeah.
commercial. Like, that's wild shit. And like that eventually will work its way back. I just don't know if it's gonna be in the form of like money in your pocket, which is why I threw that out my head out the window a long time ago. I just said that's not gonna be the thing I think about, even though it'll deter me as a trader, I think.
Yeah, so exactly that. I mean, short term not interested, long term starting to be interested. So it does confirm here. Doodle's CEO is Billboard's former president Julian Hogan, and then Pharrell Williams we know is their chief brand officer. They raised about 4 months ago, and we did bring this to you. They raised $54 million with Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian, and that put them at that stage at a valuation of 700 million, and that was still in the bear market, by the way, whereas most other people's valuations were in the bull market. So, yeah, I mean they're worth at least $500 million, which is quite impressive.
Jeez.
So yeah, I mean, definitely interesting, and you can see the strategic moves that they're making. Let's just call a spade a spade. The music side is now tech. Now they've got this this company that can do animation for them, an animation studio. So that's tech. So you can see them rolling out like a kid's cartoon very easily with great music. You can see them rolling out music videos with big artists because of the Billboard connections. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of future here that you can see that they've got a plan. And yeah, I don't like how silent they are on Twitter. But again, they're not trying to pump the floor, so they may be intentionally not wanting to misuse it. Very interesting. It's being run more like a company than a DJ NFT project, which is
They just don't
bugging
give a
all
fuck, dude.
DJs.
They don't. That's why I think that's why they're
Yeah.
not as active on Twitter. I think if you're super active on Twitter, you have to constantly put out fires. And I think because they're not, they can just say fuck it. We're doing this, and we know it's gonna piss off a ton of our holders. And everyone's gonna be mad for 24 hours, 48 hours, and then no one will care. Like, I mean, how many times has Frank said something? Everyone of Twitter blew the fuck up for 48 hours. He's on Spaces, and then nobody cares again. And then he does it again 4 weeks later. Like nobody
But
cares.
I don't agree. Like, if you're in the Web3 space, which Doodles started as a Web3 project and is now going the Web2 sort of route, right? If you started in the Web3 space, you understand Web3, things like Twitter are incredibly important. And how hard is it to have someone tweeting and retweeting and whatever it may be, just to keep your Web3 initial holders happy? I mean, I don't really understand their thinking